Mussa Dankwah is the Executive Director of Global Info Analytics. Mussa Dankwah, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Ahead of this rerun of the elections in the Ablekuma North constituency, 19 polling stations on Friday. I want to find out from you. You tested the pulse of this constituency going into election day, December 7th last year. Now, hearing the new developments right now, how does all of this strike you with the NPP's position on the decision by the Electoral Commission?
Yes, it is. And indeed, Ablekuma has been won by NPP since 1996. We remember they boycotted 1992. So when they joined in the multi-party democracy, they won that seat from 1996. And it hasn't changed hands since. Yes, it's their stronghold in the past, but in the last elections, we've seen several strongholds become vulnerable, and Ablekuma North is no exception.
But also, looking at the point that you just made, and that's what I demonstrated earlier, they're consistently winning this constituency since 1990, in fact, since 1996 up until now. And then the narrowing of the gap, even we're going with the NPP's narrative of winning that election last year with 414 of the valid votes cast as well. And now the position they take that the Electoral Commission is on a path of illegality because of that decision that it has taken to rerun the elections in the 19 polling stations. Mr. Dankwah.
Yes, indeed. If you look at the last poll we conducted in Ablekuma North, NDC was leading by a whisker, just a fraction of a percentage, but they were doing 50% on the last poll. And indeed, on the election day, when we did the exit poll from Ablekuma North, we saw that NPP was losing that seat on the exit poll.
Now, from what you said, what's your view on this decision that the party took, especially because of what they say was how things played out and the fact that they had the view that only 3 polling station results were outstanding, and now the Electoral Commission taking the decision that 19 polling stations had to be rerun because the scanned sheets that the NPP provided could not be authenticated.
Yes, it is. The data showed that NDC candidate was around 56% in the exit poll. And this poll was conducted in the most swing polling stations in the constituency.
I see. It's a very interesting point that you make about, because these 19 polling stations is what we're going to show shortly, and then the party's position on why they are of the view they're not going to take part in this election. That's essentially what has happened today. And now the court's also taking the decision that this application by their candidate for an injunction, it was ex parte for some 10 days so that they could serve the Electoral Commission, also being thrown out essentially today, paving the way for the Electoral Commission to conduct the elections on Friday. Mr. Dankwah, that's the position that the NPP is taking.
No, I'm not surprised because you look back before the December elections, NPP numbers were depressed. They were less motivated to go out and vote. Across the country, we saw like almost nearly half of people who didn't vote were NPP supporters. So they were fighting really to energize their base. Election has been held. Mostly NDC has won the seats. So in terms of turnout, it's not going to motivate NPP folks in the constituency to go out there and vote under normal circumstances. And then again, you have a situation where the perception of voters across the country, and indeed in the region and the constituency, is not different from what we've seen in the country. So it will be difficult for them to go and queue in their numbers to vote against a party that is doing well or a government that is performing in the eyes of the voters. That was the hurdle I think they saw.
But I want us to take a listen now to Justin Frimpong yesterday at that press conference as well, and their position that they have continuously espoused about their view of how the electoral results from where they sat in December played out? And I'll seek your responses to exactly what he said, Mr. Dankwah. Take a listen to him.
And therefore, it comes as very shocking that the Electoral Commission, the inconsistency from the Electoral Commission is a shame. But for us in the New Patriotic Party, we remain resolute. And we know that our candidate, Nana Ekuye-Free, won the elections with a margin of 414 votes.
This is the consistent position of the NPP on the happenings in the Ablekuma North constituency, and the reason why they've taken a decision not to be part of this rerun in the 19 polling stations on Friday.
It's from obvious, because it's really, look at, even before the election, look at how close, according to their own figure, the numbers were. And Ablekuma North is not a place where the numbers should be close, but it was very close. And indeed, we saw their largest constituency, that where they get their biggest number from, Dome Kobinya 4. So if you can't secure Dome Kobinya, nowhere else is safe. So it was right for them to think that they could be losing it. So they better stay away.
I see. So it was because you felt what? They are going to lose the elections? That's why they stayed away? Or that decision to step aside? Okay, but then again, before we round it up, let's take a look at the specific polling stations, the 19 polling stations. Take a look at this. God First International School, Dakoman, Nyamiche, Pentecost Church, Mount Zion Assembly in Kwashiman, DVLA office, Awoshi, Adamame, 2, that's the Awoshi, Esiedu, Jedu, Memorial School in Awoshi, and then we also have the Living Spring Day Nursery, Kwashibu, also the Lord's Pentecostal Church in Kwashibu, and then Methodist Church, Odoko, and St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in Odoko as well, and there's Radiant Way Preparatory School, North Odoko, Atiko School Complex, Odoko, South Odoko 4 and 5 School, Odoko, all of these schools where polling stations were located. It's part of the 19, Pentecost Church, Chineboa, and Light of Gospel Miracle Chapel, and then MTTD Odoko Divisional Station, the polling station there. There's going to be a polling station located there as well. The Roman Catholic Church, Buzia Junction, Odoko, Sakaman. Bethel Baptist Church, Sakaman. Presby Church, Odoko. Church of Pentecost, North Odoko. And then also, in fact, this same Church of Pentecost has a number of polling stations located there at that particular church premises. So these are the 19 polling stations that there's going to be a rerun of the elections in the Ablekuma North constituency. We remain your election command center. We will be there right from when polls open at 7 a.m., all things being equal, until the last ballot is counted. So stay with us as we